Yo, spoiler warnings moving forward, so if you're not trying to get spoiled by the Boruto manga, then you're gonna have to get out. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead, slide over, click the subscribe, and let's get ready for the video.
What is up? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. I know I've been late, I missed an upload or something like that, but hey, I'm here, and you know, life is tough, man. It messes with you. So, let's talk about the afterlife. You know what I mean? So, the main question that I'm going to start this video off with and end it with is, has Boruto's afterlife been stolen from him? Like, has he been robbed of the afterlife? Okay, so here's what we know about the afterlife in Naruto, right? So the afterlife in Naruto, like the paradise realm, would be known as the Pure Land. Okay, so like if you want to imagine like heaven, okay, in Naruto, it would be known as the Pure Lands. Okay, it's like this paradise realm where, like, you know, everything goes good. It's basically the realm you're supposed to go to right before enlightenment or something like that, according to Buddhism philosophy. Now, there's also other realms that you can end up in. There's the Hell realm, right? So, like, say, like, when Nagato in the Paths of Pain were invading the Leaf Village and, like, trying to gather intel, if he used, like, the Naraka path and he summoned the King of Hell or whatever, he was able to steal your soul, and then the King of Hell was able to, like, eat your soul and swallow it, and you would end up in Hell. Or the Reaper Death Seal was able to, like, steal your soul and swallow it, and you would spend eternity in its belly. And then there's, like, Itachi's Totsuka Blade, which is like, you know, your soul is forever stuck in, like, this gourd of, like, drunken dreams or something like that, where you're just eternal dizziness. And then we have, like, you know, the Purgatory realm, where, like, we saw Kakashi's father waiting for Kakashi. That's where we saw Rin waiting for Obito. Like, there's these in-between realms, right? And then we have Hagoromo and the Otsutsuki clan, alright? Now, in the afterlife aspect, right, Hagoromo was able to wait in this in-between realm, like this near-death realm, pretty much, where, like, for, like, all of like, ninja history, like, from the moment he died or whatever until he showed up again in the 4th Great Ninja War, he was essentially just chilling in this near-death realm, okay? Like, when Sasuke and Naruto got bodied by Madara, they thought they were dead, and then Hagoromo confirmed that, no, you're close to death, but you're not dead quite yet, right? And then he did the whole speech and gave them their 6 past powers, yada yada. I don't need to explain all that, but here's the thing. Hagoromo, right, being half Otsutsuki, half human, gives him the perks of being half human, right? It doesn't seem like you'd have perks for being half human, but here's how the Pure Land works, okay? So, like, in order to make it to the Pure Lands, you need to be an earthly being, alright? So according to Naruto Wiki and stuff, right, when an earthly being dies, their soul transitions and makes its way into the Pure Lands, alright? Unless otherwise hindered by a sealing jutsu or something else, right? But for all intents and purposes, you are supposed to go to the Pure Lands, okay? Hagoromo was able to wait in this purgatory realm, or this in-between world, after his death, in order to watch the earth and see what his sons would do and see how their fighting would conclude, right? Naruto pointed out, so you've basically been here watching your sons fight for all of ninja history, right? Like, Hagoromo was just chilling in this in-between realm until the feud between Indra and Ashura was finally settled and came to a conclusion. That was his whole thing. He wanted to watch that. And he also wanted to see, like, you know, the prophecy that Gamamaru had talked about and stuff. But Hagoromo, right, when he died, he didn't just go straight to he didn't go straight over to the Pure Lands, okay? He was able to resist going to the Pure Lands. Now, I don't know if that's because he's an Otsutsuki. Like, is he not allowed to be in the Pure Lands? Like, sure, he pulled off that feat, right, where he summoned the Kages from the past in order to use the summoning technique. But summoning people from the Pure Lands is not something Hagoromo himself was able to do. Like, Tobirama invented it, Orochimaru learned it, Kabuto perfected it, so being able to pull souls out of the Pure Land is not something new, alright? So Hagoromo being able to manipulate souls in the Pure Land isn't something strictly 6 paths related, right? The way he did it was definitely with some 6 paths finesse, right? He didn't have to create bodies for them, or he didn't have to sacrifice anybody, but he still was able to pull their souls out of the Pure Lands, okay? Then we have his sons, right? Since he was spending all this time in the Purgatory realm, or the in-between world, to watch them and their transmigrants, we should talk about how Indra and Ashura, when they died, Indra Otsutsuki and Ashura Otsutsuki, when they died, they literally reincarnated themselves into the Uchiha and Senju respectively, right? So like when Indra and Ashura died, they didn't simply go into the pure world or the Pure Lands. They ended up reincarnating their souls and attaching their souls to Madara and Hashirama, and then later Naruto and Sasuke, right? So the Otsutsuki have this weird thing about like not dying completely, or like their souls, or at least the human Otsutsukis, right? They have this weird thing about death, which like prevents them from making it to the Pure Lands, okay? And then we have real Otsutsukis, like 100% Otsutsuki, right? So like when Kaguya died the first time, she was revived later by Zetsu, only to be killed again, right? But when she was killed, it's not like she was chilling in these in-between realms and stuff, right? And it's not like Isshiki is chilling in this in-between realm like how Hagoromo is, and how Indra and Ashura are just able to reincarnate, right? We're told that their souls cease to exist, right? There's no one in history that will be able to take Otsutsuki DNA and reanimate them with Edo Tensei, because their souls don't reside in the Pure Lands. Now, let me refamiliarize you guys with Edo Tensei, okay? In order to reanimate someone with Edo Tensei, their soul has to be in the Pure Land, okay? So if their soul was sealed away by like the Reaper Death Seal or something, you can't reanimate those people because you can't pull their soul because it's been sealed away, right? There's something blocking you from grabbing their soul. Now, the Otsutsukis, their souls don't make it to the Pure Land, so you wouldn't be able to use Edo Tensei to pull their soul from the Pure Land because their soul's not there, right? Now, I find it hard to imagine we just have Kaguya, Urashiki, and Isshiki just sipping tea, talking smack about the Uchiha clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's where they are. I'm pretty sure when Isshiki says their souls are extinguished, it means their souls cease to exist. So what actually happens to the Otsutsuki upon death, right? Like, when Urashiki died, he died to Kid Naruto and Boruto, and they just vaporized him. They turned him into nothingness, alright? And then when Isshiki died, his body literally crumbled into dust, okay? And his soul made its way to Code's karma, and it didn't tether himself or anchor himself to Code because his karma is incapable of functioning that way, right? But when we look at Momoshiki, right, he had to save Boruto in order to save himself, right? So as a karma wielder, right, if you have a proper karma, you're an anchor for the Otsutsuki's soul, more or less, right? Now, the interesting thing is, what happens now that Boruto is 100% Otsutsuki, right? So, like, let's go back to the Pure Land, right? By definition, the Pure Land is the realm where earthly beings' souls will reside after death. As long as no one interferes with that transition, right? Your soul will make it to the Pure Land, right? So, now that Boruto is 100% Otsutsuki, will he eventually die in the same way that Isshiki died? Like, when Boruto comes to his dying breath and he's on his deathbed, will he just turn to ash and dust like Isshiki did? Will he be forced to, like, put karma on somebody so that he'll be able to come back and he'll be able to keep his soul intact in some way or shape or form, right? Like, or will he be like Hagoromo and be able to, like, pull some shenanigans, right? Because the interesting thing about this, right, if the Otsutsuki did not have their souls extinguished upon death, they would be able to pull shenanigans just like Obito did, right? Obito was able to Kamui from the Purgatory realm, or the in-between world, right, back to the realm of the living and possess Kakashi. What would stop any of these other Otsutsuki who also possess space-time ninjutsu from teleporting their chakra back to the realm of the living and then possessing somebody, right? Like Amado stated, right, Kawaki, before he reimplanted a karma on Kawaki, Kawaki will always be Isshiki's vessel, even if Isshiki's soul no longer exists, right? So what would stop Isshiki from just teleporting his chakra back into Kawaki, and then boom, he's coming back. He's got his vessel back, and then he can reconstitute and resurrect himself, right? What would stop Kaguya from doing something like that, right? What would stop any of these Otsutsukis from dying and then just teleporting back the way Obito did? It's because their souls get extinguished, right? They cease to exist. So now that Boruto is 100% Otsutsuki, he is now a pure, genuine Otsutsuki in the words of Momoshiki. When he dies, will he be able to make it to the Pure Realm and then utilize his chakra and teleport back in order to help his friends on some Obito shit? Or is he gone for good? Like, has Boruto actually had his afterlife stolen from him, right? Because we all knew this kid will be able to die and then be reanimated or whatever. I don't think Boruto could ever be Edo Tensei'd back into the story. Like, if he did die and then we reanimated him, would you be able to bring him back? Right? Or is there something with the pure eye or the Jogan or whatever that'll allow him to, like, grab souls from the afterlife or grab the extinguished souls of the Otsutsuki? Or is there a new plane that we haven't discovered yet that the Otsutsuki go to when they die, right? Like, when their souls are extinguished, is it that they're erased from reality, or do they return to, like, the source? You know what I'm saying? Like is the Otsutsuki god that Isshiki spoke of just birthing like smaller, weaker versions of Otsutsuki in order for them to go out, collect information and like experiences, you know? Shout out to Mello XO. And then yeah, like is there a way for the Otsutsuki to come back? Do they have an afterlife, or is Boruto just fucked? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. I don't want to waste too much of your time. I feel like I got the point across. What happens to the Otsutsuki when they die? Is Boruto robbed of the afterlife? Let me know in the comment section below.